Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Minesweeper PvP. Just a small update on what I was talking about at the start of my last video around the ladder reset. Minesweeper.online has made a lot of positive changes which align pretty well with what I was asking for, so I think it's safe to say as an inspiration. But as you can see here, they've named the seasons now after seasons, and there's also a day count at the bottom which shows how many days there are left per season. This is as of today. So per year, we're going to be having 4 resets. I know I said I'd like to see 1, 2, or 3 per year, but I'll take 4, and I do appreciate the better visibility of how many days are left. As for how I'm recording the games, I think the entire climb could still last more than 3 months to turn into a video series, so I'm still going to record a lot of games in one season, and yeah, spread that out over however long it takes. So the climb is still going to be safe. We won't be going back to 0 before I'm ready to anymore, but I think that's a long way off for now. So let's get back to where we were and make some progress. So the first game for this episode is a bit of a weird one. As you can see, their board hasn't loaded yet, which sometimes this happens when the opponent is far away. You can see Charles has a China flag. I think the Asian servers tend to be a bit laggy sometimes, but normally they load in after a few seconds, whereas spoiler, their board never loads in for this game. I am playing alone. Um, I don't know if this is just a visual bug and they're like actually were playing and I just couldn't see it. So I didn't really want to take too much time to think about it and lose myself because of it. But in hindsight, even if I check my match history, normally you can see the board side by side. Still absolutely nothing there. So a bit less exciting. You'll probably have figured out by now this wasn't one of the close games I was talking about in the video title. So just kind of a chill warm up on my own session. A bit of a lonely PvP, but I do get the win, surprisingly. And a nice 27 points, kind of a free. I assume it was for free. I don't really know if there was any competition or if it's just bugged. But going into this one, I do have an opponent. They do have a board. About 68-second player. And kind of right off the bat, I walk into a blunder and then immediately walk into another one, which definitely can happen, but not the best way to be starting this board. And it's got me about a -5 that I have to try and catch up on. But at this point, I'm not really thinking that the game is over by any means. With our PB time difference, I was pretty confident if I played well, I could bring it back. But you can see that they have gone up the left side of the board, while I've chosen to go up the right side. And I've not really been able to make much progress in catching up. And although we're on the same board, we've kind of given ourselves different logic. We've gone from different side. And it might be the case that I chose the wrong side and it was a bit slower because I'm still in the red. I don't help myself by missing that 5 is solved. Kind of go the hard way around. But yeah, it's very close, still at about 80% of the way in. And I really thought I'd be in the green by now, so to make sure I don't choke the ending, I've just got a +2, +3 into the final clicks. Bit of a slow end of finish. And there it is. I managed to pull off the comeback in the last moments. Here is the slow-mo. You can see that they have like 2 clicks remaining when I finally bring it back. And fittingly, that promotes me to gold. An exciting game to promote me. And moving on to the next game, Charles is back, and this time Charles has a board. You do love to see it. It's nice to know that Charles is not lost to us forever. Comforting knowing that there's going to be a board beside me this time, not just a lonely PvP experience. And although it was nice to get some free points, yeah, much prefer it this way around. And I think in honor of our reunion, being a bit gifted by the first half of this board, a lot of easy patterns that we can kind of fly through, a lot of the simple ones that everyone knows to heart. But throughout this process, got about a 12% lead here. And I think it's around this point where the board stops giving, because the logic dries up a bit. I do miss one confirmed mine there. I don't know how much it would help me, but it does kind of force me to guess because I missed it. Get away with the guess though. But I've already, again, it's still available. I've already considered it not available though, so I'm still taking more guesses. This time I do hit a mine, but I think probably Charles is suffering again similarly to me with this difficult logic in the bottom, and I am able to close off the win. Get another 22 points under my belt. And moving on into a new opponent this time in Lee. a player with about a PB of 68 seconds, and starting off at the bottom of this board, there's really not much to go with. Lee hits a mine almost immediately. I'm forced into guessing, hit a mine almost immediately, and we're both just struggling to get out of this bottom section to start the game. I'm forced to take another guess. I think it was a fine guess. Find an opening there, but still not really much avenue to get out. I think in these situations, you're hoping that you're either better than your opponent at these tight logics, another guess there, better than your opponent at guessing, or just more lucky than your opponent. So it can kind of go either way, but we're both struggling a bit. I think I've hit less mines so far, and I think it's about this moment I make my breakout. And there you go, the logic. Since all the mines are probably in the bottom section, really helps the top section be easy to speed through. And yeah, when the board rebuilds like this in high density sections, it doesn't get easier. So yeah, it's really easy just to get stuck in a certain section and have the opponent run away as soon as they escape it. Kind of what happened this board. Quite a clear win. Another 20 points. And moving into our next game, I'm going to save myself the embarrassment of trying to pronounce that name, but they have around a 71-second expert PB, so hopefully looking at another win here. It's quite a comfortable PB for me to see in my opponent, but as my opponent before showed, the one that was really close, they had around 68-second PB, and they almost beat me, which kind of goes to show that if they put up a good performance like that guy did, don't make mistakes and just get lucky or choose a better path than me, I am at risk to losing to these players. So I do need to do my due diligence, make sure I play good enough to get the win. I think this section here, I don't see the logic at the bottom and forced to take a guess, which I do get away with luckily, but that was a bit of a rushed taking of that logic. And just 150-50 to end the game, and I miss it. I have to do it again, but I still have a decent lead. And tragedy strikes, and I hit the mine on the final click. My mouse slips, and then in my panic, I hit another one right at the end. As all of a sudden, I'm in the red, right at the end here, and a difficult bit at the end too, which I luckily managed to not hit another mine. And like here's the slow mo of the end. You can see the difficult logic that this top right corner gives. I think like is that 50-50? Yeah, I have to take a 50-50 and win it. Would have lost me the game. And another close call, which I really brought upon myself with some terrible timed mouse slips. But I do dodge the bullet of losing my perfect record so far. And into, I think, what is the last game of the day against Apricot. Similar expert PB of around 71 seconds, but they do have a lot of PvP points. They're in Master Tier, so that is a good sign for them in terms of their average performance. But I think with the speed difference, the game should still be in my hands. Just need to not make too many mistakes. Some forced guesses in this bottom section. Just had one on the left there. Got another one here. I think another one here. There's at least 3 guesses in that bottom section, and somehow I avoided mine in every single instance, which always feels good because you know your opponent has to do the same thing that you did, and chances are they won't be so lucky. So definitely setting myself up for success in this game, and I've got a really convincing lead. This time, hopefully no mistakes right at the end. Yep, I pulled it off. I managed to not hit the last mine, and nice game to end the day on. Good efficiency, decent time. Gold, 385 points. So setting us up quite nicely for next video, where we can hopefully promote to platinum.